Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Wednesday, and that means Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. So I don't know if you saw it this morning. I'm sure you did. The weekly report about mortgage activity is out. It looks like home purchases are up 7% week on week after, I think, 5 or 6 weeks of going negative. And then home refis are actually down. And most importantly, the rate stayed the same, 3.03 for 3 weeks in a row. So that's what I took from the survey. I'm wondering what you're seeing, what's going on in the mortgage market.
Yeah, I mean, rates are pretty stable, and I'm not surprised to hear that. As much as I'm entrenched in mortgage and people buying and people refinancing, I don't look at those numbers as often as maybe I should. But I can tell you that when you say something like that, it tells me, oh yeah, what I was feeling was correct. Is we've got this new, resurge of home buyers, and I've had conversations where I'm human like everybody else, and I want it to be easier.
Yeah.
And sometimes what's happening and what you want, they don't mix, but you want for it more, right? It's like, I want my buyers to be able to get into contract, not have to offer 60,000 above ask and be competing against 15 offers. But as much as I saw like the lull, like March and April was frenzy and it was out of control, and it started to get a little bit easier. My hope and what I was wanting to happen was like, it continued to get easier. But what my reality was like, holy shit, like they just offered 50,000 above ask, waived all contingencies, and they didn't get it. Like, wow. What the heck is going on? Yeah. And when that happened a few times, without even looking at the numbers, I can say, you know what? We've got a resurge of motivated buyers, people in the market that are coming up against this issue with not enough inventory. Makes it hard. Yeah. And so that increase that we saw in the numbers, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that in my market, other markets in California where I'm helping people out, where we had somebody get accepted in Menifee. Where the heck is Menifee?
No idea. I was going to ask you. I'm like, I don't know.
I believe it's like outside of, it's somewhere down south.
Okay.
And it's a lot more affordable than San Diego. So maybe it's like 45 minutes outside of San Diego or something.
Okay.
I honestly
don't know. I don't know.
But I was talking to the agent involved, and he's just like, we got to write this and we got to do this. And we got to do that. Otherwise we're not even competitive. And I'm like, all right, you're the expert in Menifee. I'm just helping the client.
I'm a guy in Sacramento. What do I know?
With the home loan. Right. Yeah. And so, and maybe still is not the right word. We've got another wave of super motivated folks. And for me, thinking about like my book of business and the people that I've talked to, it feels like frenzy. Oh, this is too wild. I'm going to sit on the sidelines. Kids are in school. Things are settled. Okay. Re-engage with out there submitting offers.
I think that's exactly what happened. Again, I look at the market every day. I talk to real estate agents 5 days a week, at least, if not 7. And it is very clear that buyers took July off, right? I remember, right? Biden came out, did a 4th of July celebration. We beat this thing. Even I took a vacation, right? I went away. And then people would continue to do that in August. And right around the last week of August, real estate agents are like, open houses are a little busier than they were just a couple of weeks ago. And sure enough, offers are out. We listed a property, got an offer the same day over asking. So it does seem like buyers are back. Although I will say it's not, I'm calling August or April and August. It's not April crazy.
Right.
Because inventory has been rising for 9 weeks in a row, which is awesome. That is what we need. But it's still, instead of 10 offers, it's 2. So hopefully it becomes, I want it to become a more balanced market. Let me be clear. I do not want prices to go up 20% again in a year. That is unhealthy. When you go 20 points on 20 points, that's a pretty big
right. And I don't see any scenario where that is anywhere near happening. Yeah. But you're right. March, April frenzy, makes this latest little push or surge small in comparison, because the stuff that's coming on now, there's more inventory, and the big difference I can tell is like, you've got carpet, you've got wallpaper. It's not as fancy. Like March and April, that didn't matter. Yeah. Above ask offers. And now it's like, oh, the thing's sitting for 28 days, 31 days. I wonder why. Well, because there's enough pretty stuff that people are going to
the perfect stuff is still selling. It's the junk. That was what was wrong with April, dude, is junk was getting retail prices. It just didn't matter. That was
Yeah,
crazy. So
right.
now junk is getting a discount. Junk is sitting. I call them but properties. Yeah, that house is nice, but that house is nice, but yeah, that stuff's getting a discount. Even my students, they're getting stuff under asking now. So that's fun to see.
Yeah, for sure. I think I saw something, but by our buddy Ryan Nickel, he was looking at a house that like rehabbed, the best comps in the neighborhood would sell for X, and you've got people bidding it, close to that in its current condition, which was
crazy
trash, And I think that's probably always happened and will continue to happen, where there's overzealous investors or people that just don't know what the heck they're doing that are going to be willing to overpay. But for now, the owner occupied space, it looks like, something that's not as nice and needs some work and not pretty finishes. There's nobody going goo goo gaga and offering 50K above ask on those.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about refinances lately. There's a lot of people that are paying PMI, a lot of people in California that just shouldn't. If you bought in the last couple of years and paying PMI in California, that's probably a mistake. And I think people should reach out to you and do the math. So I know they can do that. How would you want them to reach out?
Just shoot us an email, matt@mattthemortgageguy.com. If you want to be proactive and avoid, the first couple, back and forth, like, oh, hey, great to meet you. We'd love to help. Here's what we'd look like from you. Just send us a mortgage statement. Say my credit score is about 730. I'm looking to take 40,000 in cash out. Maybe show me a rate and term and cash out. That's so easy for me and my team.
Awesome.
And I promise you, there's no sales pitch. If you fill out something on LendingTree online, you're going to have to change your phone number. You're going to get so many calls. Yeah. And with us, we're going to show you a really straightforward, essentially a loan estimate. Hey, does this make sense? We'll tell you our opinion, but ultimately it's your decision.
Absolutely.
And on some people, I'm going to say, listen, you're saving $380 a month. This thing's going to pay for itself in 7 months. You should do this all day, every day, unless you plan on moving in the next 6 months.
Exactly.
Others, I'm going to say, listen, we can remove MI, but you're only paying $38 a month in MI and you've got a 2.99. Leave this loan alone.
Right. Yeah.
And so it doesn't help. The Geico commercials where, 15 minutes can save you 15%. It might only take you 3 minutes to send over your mortgage statement. That might save you $3,000 a year.
Yeah. There you go. Folks, again, reach out to Matt at mattthemortgageguy.com. Yes, there are 3 T's in a row at mattthemortgageguy.com. So, and then tell them what time do you go live on YouTube?
Live every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We've been getting 60, 70 people that join that thing.
That's awesome.
And we're just firing off questions, going back and forth. The coolest thing that I want to see more of, and that I'm hoping as it builds and as more people get on, is I've got some input, but then the people watching have input as well. And the people that are watching are like, here's my experience with the question you asked, and here's what happened with me, because I can tell you what I've seen, what I've heard, what my clients have experienced, but then you got people across the country.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Texas as well, and this is how that worked for me. Or, oh, I'm doing exactly what you're talking about doing. And here's my experience. It's awesome. It's cool stuff. It's just,
when the network builds like that and you become kind of that focal point, it's awesome. Just keep talking about what you know and let others wrap around it. That's what I do. And that's why you're here every Wednesday to talk about mortgages.
Cool. So yeah. And then Mondays I'm in the office early, and then by 6 p.m. I'm tired.
Exhausted.
Collectively the group can help lift me up and help me out if I'm running low, if I'm running on fumes.
There you go. Well, thanks for your time this week, man. Always fun.
All right. Thanks, Mike.